Okay, this is a VOD review of I don't know what I saw you all, one sec. Main tank, Rhino Winston, small, I'm a Ryan main, have transitioned to a Winston, still new with Winston. I can either play really well or really bad, currently. Okay. So I don't know what I saw this is, but, you know, we'll take a look.
Kesray is muted in Discord.
Alright,
No,
alright.
no, I'm eating an apple, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry about me and stuff. Okay, alright. You should eat an apple, don't worry, we can deal with hearing that. Okay.
Okay, so, Blizzard World Defense, first point. This is actually powerful with a lot of different tank comps. You can run Bunker, Brawl, or Dive. I'd say Bunker works a lot of the time, also Brawl. Dive is a little harder to pull off, but that's just general, you know, Dive is in general a little harder to pull off. I think, like, it also depends on what you're comfortable on. I'd recommend playing a lot of Orisa, or like practicing her a lot, just because she's coming a lot more into the meta where she can play with D.Va.
So what are our...
So you told me to use a lighter pink color. I'm gonna use blue. I use pink.
Tanks choose first.
Yeah.
Normally I like to run either
Tanks
Execute
choose
or
first.
run
You should have someone who
Who
like
comfortable with
who is calling the comps. Someone who has a good
Tanks choose
sort of
first.
understanding of the game and is gonna choose the comps.
Yes.
Alright.
Big surprise.
That's what I recommend.
Alright.
Okay. Supports. Shagger
Trusty.
crew.
Yep. Do you mind going? Yeah.
Looks good, guys. Alright.
Yeah, that is. This is a. Wait. Okay. One second. Let me go back 1 second. Oh. Mouse work. Okay. This is a good comp actually. You've got the Ryan Zarya for your brawl tanks. Then you got a McCree Hitscan, a Pharah, which is gonna possibly force them to change up their comp and playstyle, especially like if you're. So the only thing is with Pharah on this point, there's a lot of open space where you can get shot down by Hitscan, but you can like if your Mercy is gonna pocket your Pharah enough, then you should be fine. And Lucio your Lucio is gonna want to be sort of controlling the engages, controlling where your tanks go, I guess you could say. So he's gonna speed you around and heal you up if you need it.
I'll go Moira, and then the pharmacy can stay up a bit more.
Yeah,
Hopefully I can
That's
warm up
okay.
my shots.
You didn't need to go Moira.
The only problem I find with this comp is that you don't have a defensive ult.
Okay, defensive ult's not a massive problem. Obviously, you might play against a Grav or a offensive ultimate like a Dragon Blade, a Pharah ultimate, a attack visor, stuff like that. It's not a massive problem because there are a lot of things you can do to combat that. You can either outfrag them in the first stages of the fight, so you're ult tracking them. Okay, their Zarya's going to have Grav. She's going to come in. She's going to grab us. That's their win condition. What you've got to be thinking is, okay, how can we play around that? And the way you play around that is by trying to get more picks than them before they can grab. So either you just get more picks than them, so you get 2 picks and then she can't grab because it's already a lost fight for them, or you get like 2 or 3 picks and she grabs and she wastes it, and even if they were to then get 3 kills, it's even, and you can win the fight still. Another way is, people just say, okay, play split forehead. A lot of people will tell you to play split, but they don't do it. Which this just means playing split from your Rhine, essentially, because your Rhine's going to be where the Zarya is going to grab, and then she's going to flank. But if she's going to flank, you can win the frontline brawl fast. Anyway, I digress. So your Rhine is going to sort of be wanting to be at the front, tanking that grab, and playing split from him so it doesn't drag anyone in. And then if he dies, you can either go for the res on him, or you've only lost 1 person. Okay, I'll stop talking now. For a while, for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah, I was gonna go back. Moira Mercy isn't a massive okay, so this guy went Moira to because so that the Mercy can pocket the Pharah, but a lot of the time the Pharah this is like a comp that's gonna work in principle, that's necessary in principle, but your Pharah doesn't actually need that much pocket because, say, if she's going to play really defensively away from corners, or if I don't know, then you're like, or she's not gonna get countered or hit. At that point, you're like both your supports are gonna have very hard times gaining their ults because they both do a lot of healing and you know. So it's not, he could have saved Lucio though, but you know, we'll see how it works.
Coalescence.
More or less is just a shit on healing.
Valkyrie has
But,
the stems that come out with healing as well. But.
If they have a soldier or a Genji or a Grav or anything like that, you pretty much can't do anything against that. So you need to play around that. Yeah.
Well, we need to look at that team comp, but it does.
Okay, I don't know. Is that your coach? Is that someone who's? Okay. I think that might be Insect. Sorry, I'm getting tagged in other servers. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. I think that might be your coach talking, or the other guy. What's his name? EQ. So he's the only thing is like, you know, you're not saying how you're gonna play around that, which I would recommend. Like all coaching, you want to go in depth as possible. And the way you play around that is what I just explained.
Alright, where are we holding?
Right side's usually
Back,
good.
yeah, right side is good.
Alright.
Let me just get rid of this. I feel like they could probably annoy people.
Ready, move yourself into Discord, please. I know you haven't said anything, but just make sure.
Ryan Diva, Hawk, Goats.
Okay,
Runner and shielding.
they got a hog.
Just you can just fire strike. It's gonna waste the
I
matrix a
can't see
bit.
the last player. I don't know whether.
Comes being shared, comes being shared.
Okay. First thing that is partly on McCree's fault, partly your fault. You should adjust faster. You see they're going left side. 1 second. Let me back up a bit. Okay. So you see they're running goats. Right now, just fire strike into them. It's going to waste down the matrix a bit, which is going to make them take more damage from your fire. You see they're going left side. You should, right now, I think you might be about to move, but like as soon, actually a couple of seconds ago, you see they're going left side. You should be walking this way and standing here and blocking up their path so they have to fight you here.
I can't see the last player. I don't know whether.
Like you're moving a couple of seconds late. Now your McCree messes up here. You know they have a hog. And you know they have a tank-heavy comp, and I mean, like, no matter what comp they're running like right into the front of them with no Rhine in front of you is bad. But you should have adjusted faster. Like, just swing. Just you want to play front line. Okay, you're giving them so much space right now. The first thing, and I don't know if it's going to be like a repeating thing with you, but the first thing you need to do is deny them as much space as you can, especially now that they've got a pick. They've just got a pick. They've just killed one of your team. It's now a 5v6. You need to deny them as much space as you can. And what you've done is you've just walked across the whole point, so they have all of this now to do whatever they want. And you know, if they were a smart team, they would take it. They would just walk and they would take the space and they'd keep pushing you back. Your role as a tank, especially as a main tank, is to create space and deny the enemy team space, which is, you know, like the most important thing for you to do.
I can't see you guys.
So what you're doing right now is very, very good. Just don't back off. Don't back off. Like, you know your Zarya has bubble. She should be communicating with you. Okay, I have bubble. Gonna bubble you, and you should be taking all the space that she's gonna give you.
Alright.
You seem to be using shield a lot as well, which I would just, you know, I'm not a prominent main tank player, but you use shield a lot when you don't need to be. Like, you're holding it when you're just taking random spam, which isn't actually going to do anything with you.
Pull back.
The comp they're running is very weird. They've got a Rhine, so they've got like Brawl, I guess it's kind of Brawl, with like a Hog as a second DPS and a Diva as an off-tank. And then the Sombra is going to be... The good thing is for you is that you don't really have a backline. You have a Brawl and a Thorough in the air. You have your Moira's kind of backline, but she can just fade away, and your McCree should be able to stun the Sombra. So you don't. The good thing for you is you don't have a backline, so the Sombra's gonna have a hard time doing anything against you.
So they're gonna anti us and just gonna do it big time.
I know where
So no, versus Zarya we have, they don't have
Oh, we spawn together.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take high ground, but
I have a barrage ready.
70 to
I'm
grab.
trying to look
Wait,
for grab.
it's up to you.
where are they pushing?
One thing, sorry, I keep talking. One thing you need to make sure with your Zarya is that you have very, very good, like that you guys play well together, and that your Zarya is comfortable communicating with you about bubbling, so that she can say to you, okay, Ryan, I have bubble, push forward, or bubble you, Ryan, 3, 2, 1, and that will give you you'll know when to play aggressive, basically.
I've been hacked.
But right now, you're shielding. What are you shielding?
Sorry, I'm getting
What are
it.
you shielding right now? One sec. I want you
Where are they
to,
pushing?
when you think of this, if someone's just, right now, what are you shielding? Because I do not see anything in this radius, or in this area, that you're shielding. Sure that you're shielding your Moira a tiny bit, but your Sombra's not actually doing a lot of damage to your Moira. You're not even shielding her really.
Sorry, I'm getting it.
You're just taking 2 damage from the Sombra. So your shield management is something you need to work on right now. Just play more aggro, play more aggro. Keep going. Press W, boys. Press W, keep going. Press W.
There's someone
I'm the shield.
You just DMAC, they have no anti-Zarya or anti-Ryan now. Just
2 seconds.
press W!
We're all good.
I'm playing so badly. Sorry.
Where's on McCree?
Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to shout at you. But this is just tilting. Well, I mean, it's not tilting. It's just like you have so much potential to look at the gap, and I mean it was even bigger a second ago between you and their run. There is no reason for you to be standing here. You should be like here, at the closest. You're giving their team as much space as they want or need. You're giving them every single bit of space. I wouldn't say I'm going to also look at the notes that the other guy did.
Oh, thanks for rest.
Oh, why are you showing? Zero, that was just
I'm
fun.
slept.
Your shield management needs work. You're shielding when you don't need to be.
Oh, it slept. I'm playing this super badly. I'm sorry, guys.
Which means you're just letting your shield get melted down.
Back up.
Alright, we
And
got some ultis, we gotta use them.
Yeah.
yeah,
Zarya.
and like you're only shielding out. Yeah, what you should be doing is shield hopping all the time. Shield hop. I don't know if you know what shield hopping is. It's really hard to explain, or I've always found it really hard to explain. So it's like you start here with your shield down, or shield up maybe, and then you jump. I think it's you start with your shield down, then you jump, and then as you jump, you put your shield up and land with your shield up in this arc, and then you sort of like put it down, but then and then you put it down for a couple of seconds where you land, and then you jump again, and you just keep doing this, and you shield hop. I don't know if you know how to shield hop. It's a lot easier to show you how to do it in game.
Touching the payload here.
Coming back.
That is huge.
I'm taking high ground.
You're aggressive when you shouldn't be, and really defensive when you should be more aggressive.
Right now.
Come back.
Like they've just trans. You're not gonna kill anyone with that shadow because you didn't pin straight away.
I was hacked. Like, they can
Should I switch up as Zen?
So
Yeah, it's T-Run me.
definitely.
you're gonna die in that
Grab
position.
real quick, we could, like, we can...
Yeah, I saw that, sorry.
Your McCree's getting picked off quite a lot. I think he's sitting.
Alright, no worries, yes. We can hold this for 5 minutes.
Honestly, you just need to like one thing. So your positioning right now is perfect. You should. This is exactly where you should be, and then you can aggress onto their Rhine with your Zarya's bubble, and because if you think about it, their Rhine doesn't have any sustain like from his team really, apart from the seals. So what I mean is like, you can swing at him as much as you want, because he's not going to get bubbled. He can't swing at you because you're going to get bubbled. That's, you know, your brawl is better than his, and you should be winning this fight against him. You should be, because the D.Va can't matrix you when you're swinging at him. And if you can shield hop and sort of like randomly shield when you think, well not randomly, but shield when you think the hog's going to hook you, then There runs alone, and he's so easily killable, but he's outplaying both you and your Zarya right now, when he shouldn't be. I was going to say something else. Yeah, so actually holding them for 5 minutes would be really, really easy if you just win one fight here, because it's all about momentum. They have so much momentum right now. They're always catching you in the back foot. They're always like using ults before you. That's it. Yeah. So you should basically save a lot of ults, pop them all in one fight, win the fight, and then win with momentum, and then like stop the momentum and win off that.
Grab the wall.
I'm gonna find behind.
The line.
Good stuff.
None of
Something behind.
A bit late, but still gonna do it.
This is a very small tip for Ren. If you're getting ulted by a Hulk, just like shield for 1 second, drop it for 1 second, shield for 1 second, drop it for 1 second, sort of let him push you back to safety.
I can't barrage with it up.
My gosh, I'm playing.
Well, we have to.
Alright, no, we're good.
Divas.
They're just outbounding us.
I'm switching.
I need to go.
Looks close. Hog spawn camping.
Just alright with it.
Looks close.
Gosh, I'm playing.
Well, we have to.
No, she didn't
Alright,
just.
no, we're good.
Divas.
They're just outbounding us.
I'm switching.
I need to go.
Looks close. Hog spawn camping.
One's looking for Shadow. Where is he?
I mean, you're, like right now you're trying to retake without a full 6 players. You would have a couple extra seconds to try and retake.
Is that them?
Sombra behind. Discord.
Hog
Hold
behind.
me.
Hold at me. I'm hooked. Hog's still behind. Like outside of me. Hog is outside of me. Stay on point if we can, stay on point.
Okay, there are a lot of reasons you lost that. So I'm gonna look at your reasons first. You are not tracking their Ryan's ult and your ult against him. So I'm actually not gonna be. No, I'm not gonna be like that. So you're not tracking their Ryan's ult and your ult against him. You should be like constantly thinking, okay, look at my ult percentage. Has he been swinging more than me? Have I been swinging more than him? Is he going to have Shatter? And if you know he has Shatter, if you even think he has Shatter, you want to be playing aggressive onto him, playing with your shield down a lot to try and bait him, and then as soon as you hear, the millisecond you hear that audio cue for his ult, then you shield. And I tell you, it feels so good blocking the Shatter. Then you're also like just shattering randomly into a shield. What else? Generally, your positioning is really defensive, but then as soon as you like the one time you went aggressive was the time when you shouldn't have been because you didn't pin someone straight away as soon as you ulted. They got back up, which means you're not going to kill anyone because their Zen's just trans, and then you die. What else? I should probably start writing this stuff down, but anyway, your team. There's so much your team is not doing. You're not ult tracking. You are not. So you're using ults reactively instead of proactively, which is a massive problem for teams. Even the Overwatch League, they are not ulting like to engage. They're ulting to counter, which is what you guys are doing. You're not popping ults first. You're pressing Q after they have pressed Q to counter their Q, which you should be using your Q. You should be forcing them to use their Q to counter your Q. Okay? I mean, you're also not target calling, you're not realizing your win condition, you're not realizing their win condition, you're not playing around your win condition, their win condition, you're not playing around what your comp is good at, you're not playing around what their comp is bad at, you're not playing against what their comp is good at, you're not sort of like strengthening the weaknesses of your team, comms are cluttered, these are all things you need to work on.
I can Reaper if we need to. They'll probably go for Sim on comp since it worked out so well against us. If we switch up our comp pretty drastically, we might surprise them.
I did not know this Winston skin existed until like a week ago. And I've played this game since season 1.
Tyson, what tank can you play?
Zarya is my best one.
Alright.
You're running goats.
Lucio should be decent for AoE, but and Brig does have the AoE, but
Yeah. Lucio Brig, bad idea. You're running goats without the Brig, which is actually the right choice. Brig is the interchangeable one in goats. You have a strong comp. Because of your comp, you should be realizing, okay, we have a Rein, we have a Zarya. That makes us Brawl comp. Okay. B-R-A-W-L, Brawl. Then, you have obviously the supports, which these are good for Brawl. Now, as well, you have the Reaper. This is like Brawl times 10. That's not a 0. This is like, this just makes your Brawl so much better now. Because you've got a Reaper. He can do so much damage to tanks, so much damage to people up close, that so you want to be playing that scenario, and then the D.Va is just going to be there to contest high grounds and hit scans and shit.
Hopefully you do end up with Guardians like 200 or something, you don't have to worry. Alright, what's this?
I'm gonna scout the high ground when we go up the left side.
Sounds good.
Alright, Eddie, let me know when you're gonna ulti, and I will Beyblade you.
Oh, let's do it, yeah. I'll probably go for a flanking ultimate though.
Do we want to go left side straight through?
Yes. Left side.
Yeah.
Up.
Yellow doesn't matter as this comp. No, okay. Don't know what's talking about that.
Alright, what's this?
They have a fat arrow line.
Oh, play more competitive. You mean, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like play in a more competitive style. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
Speed boost around the door out here.
They're all hit, they're
3,
all
2, 1.
Isn't it?
Nice. Nice.
Nice, good stuff.
Dude, that's perfect. That's like you could not have done that better.
Forward left first. Okay, they're on mid point, they're on point. Go to 1 point.
Right.
Go quick.
Nice calls. Nice calls. He should be calling Brig until she dies.
I'm no shield. Leave me the heal, thank you.
Down point.
Anna left, right side.
Because if he stops calling Brig, then people are gonna maybe think she's dead already, or you know,
Right on the back end. Give me the heal.
or that she doesn't need to be focused anymore.
They're all low.
Okay, that was. I'm really impressed with that. That was the perfect. I mean, I don't know if this was intentional. You had good shot calling, so I'm gonna draw a little thumbs up right here. That is a thumb up. I mean, it's not, but shots calling. Sorry, I just like drawing stuff. You had, like, you played. I'm just gonna do this. You played really, really well in that fight. You played exactly what your comp is good at, and it worked out perfectly. You outplayed their Rein. You outplayed the shit out of their Rein straight away. Then you had the perfect target calling onto their Brig. I mean, well, not perfect. You should have kept calling her until she was dead, but there was good calls about taking point. And then you just played what your comp was good at, and you played as a team, which the comp you're running does sort of force you to play as a team, but I'm still impressed. I'm still impressed.
Get the Sombra. Thank you.
Alright, she's dead.
You have Shatter now. You know for 1,000,000,000% that Reinhardt does not have Shatter. If he has Shatter, I will, you know, I'm gonna watch the coach, haha.
Quick, switch. I'll speed boost you.
I'm getting ult though.
Go.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. You're gonna get stunned by Brig. If you're
Wait, nice.
with the Sombra, do we really want the Bastion?
Trust, alright? Trust in the
I
skill.
trust.
Trust in the 900 IQ Bastion play.
I mean, he's right. If his Sombra is any sort of competent player, should just go behind your Bastion and hack him.
Ignore that
They
I
are
missed
on
the
top.
payload.
I can't see it in front. Anyone scout?
Odds are they dive here.
They're all on high ground. I boosted
They're all
them.
up down.
You can Shatter this. Perfect. Nice.
Sombra down. One.
Guys! Just up.
You're playing very, very well in this attack.
Next trip.
You're playing the exact aggression you should have, the exact positioning, your ult usage,
Left side, I'm gonna be on main.
your management. I mean, there's still things that you guys aren't doing, like a lot of things you aren't doing,
Yeah, on
like ult tracking,
No, one
pre-fight macro.
Maybe. They're not touching. No, they are. Watch the
Red
line,
shield,
you go out. Focus mine. That's it, they got
I mean, I would usually charge their run here, but it's a bad idea.
Real low.
Alright, man.
Oh, the Anna just saved your life.
Diffuse rally?
Should we try and move the brig?
We can
Don't try to move anyone, Eric.
get a fat grab. We can Bastion
I have ult.
tank it.
Watch out, watch out. Okay. Oh,
My shield broke.
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just sort of watching, like, in disbelief there that people won't actually do anything. That fight. They sort of comboed you very well with their ults and their usage of, like, the throwing the Doom Bomb to destroy your shield and misplace you and then shattering. You could have played around that. That's just ult tracking and ult management from you and your team. A good thing for ult management is, and ult tracking, is you personally always track the person on the other team playing the same role as you. And if they have someone on the team that counters you, you track their ult as well. So like, if your Zen player would track their Zen's ult or their Lucio's ult, plus their Genji's ult or something. And then like you can all keep an eye on it, and then you might not have been so sort of outplayed in that fight.
Run behind.
You're not actually doing anything.
Alright, wait, no, grip up and
Yeah, you could have avoided that if you just shield hopped past it.
Pressing, come on.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Alright,
I got up.
Go grab.
I have ult too.
I don't know what rank you are, but you
What's
remind me
your
of like
right side? What's your right side?
a
Right side,
I
right
don't
side.
left or right?
inconsistent high
Leading
platinum
into
thing.
our left corner. Alright, what's this? Ryan shield near death.
You're playing so defensive.
Ulting.
Oh my god. Okay, so you're playing extremely defensive, right there. I mean, I know you got trapped, but even before that, you were playing extremely defensive. So let me just sort of draw on this a bit more. Where you should be going. I know there's a trap, but you could have walked past it. You should be playing here. You are allowing them so much space. The fights you're winning is when you aggress onto their Rhine and you don't give him space. Those are the fights you win. But you're not doing that, and like so you lose a lot of fights. So you should be playing here. Instead, you play on the payload, you get trapped, and then you Zarya grabs, which so you Zarya grabs. You know that Zen has trans, which it's fine. Usually, like you force a Zen ult and you've completely misplaced them all, but you can try and play
Ryan
it.
shield near death.
Try and get them without a trans. Then, so they're wait, let me just okay. That you're about to shatter. Their Rhine has just been pulled into the grab. He's holding a shield. He is in grav, so he is not going to drop that shield until it breaks. He wants to nullify as much damage as he can, even though he's got trans up, because you can kill them through trans. So you know he's going to hold a shield. Also, they have just transed. You don't have an anti-nade, so you can't kill people through that unless you pin someone, but that's still only one pick, and it will take you into the middle of their team. So even if you hit a 6-man shatter currently, which you won't actually, you hit a 5-man, but you're not going to win this fight, or you're not going to kill anyone with it, really. So this is a horrible shatter, and and you shattered the wall anyway.
Alright, trend slow.
Lift up.
That was an NA loose. That was an NA sound there.
Coming around. Nice. Push forward. I'm holding the choke in the front.
Nice call. Whoever's calling that. I don't know if that's you, but if it is, good call.
I'm the front choke. It's coming out. Right side, on you. Nice. Heal Zarya. One
Out of heals.
Focus fire.
Oh shit. Okay, you guys did pole there. I mean, they didn't switch to counter your Bastion apart from getting a Junkrat, but he didn't do his job. Like, this is something I see so commonly throughout lower ranked teams, is they'll pick a counter comp or a counter hero, but they don't play the counter. Like, if they have a Pharah, you'll pick a McCree to counter the Pharah. Like, yeah, sure, that's great, but McCree does not counter Pharah if you're not playing to counter the Pharah, because if he's not given space or the right positions, he's not going to kill that Pharah. So like, their Junkrat is not playing to kill your Bastion, he's just playing Junkrat because Junkrat is good against Bastion.
Nice, they didn't touch.
Oof.
See, your positioning, currently there. like in that offense was so good.
That was
That was
much better in terms
so good. Like
That was much better in terms of communication.
seriously, yeah, it was much better in terms of communication.
Last
And your
time
positioning was a lot more offensive,
everyone's
and you were
dead.
bullying their Ryan,
Instead of making excuses,
not giving him space.
with
And you're
an
destroying him.
idea Of which, like in your head, come up with an idea of how you can improve. Because making excuses isn't gonna do anything for the team. You're just gossiping and shit talking. There's no point. If just cluttering comms, there's no point. One thing that a lot of teams do have problems with is keeping comms crystal clear and precise.
Guys, you need a pick. We're running out of time.
I think that's EQ
See how Genji runs.
talking.
I'll give Hanzo a go. Yeah, we go.
You want D to run this?
Pretty on nothing.
I mean, he's right. A lot of teams have problems with that, but the way you deal with that is, first of all, as a shot caller, whoever it is, or if you don't have one, you need to get one. You make calls. You want to make sure your calls are listened to and understood. How you do this is you make sure everyone has the same understanding of like one call or knows what a call means. So, for example, like saying, you know, okay, Ryan 1, you need to make sure that everyone knows that Ryan 1 means he's 1 HP, not like he's half health. So everyone's going to focus that run. Also, you need to be making good calls as the shot caller, and you need so if people are talking over you or not listening to your calls, like so you're making good calls and people are just ignoring them, you need to think why. Do they not trust your calls? Do they not understand them, or are they just not listening to them? Once you figure out why, then you can build on that. If they don't trust them, then you just play with this person. This is something I've taught, or I told a Contenders Trials like off-tank duo to do was, so basically the main tank was calling targets, but the off-tank wasn't like following it up. So they went into comp and they duo queued for like 3 hours every day, and then the main tank was calling and the off-tank like basically had to listen to him because he was muted. I know this is a long story. And it worked so much. So you guys could just go into comp if they're not listening to your calls, and you know, I mean the guy's right, elo doesn't matter, especially when you're in a team together.
Go ahead. I'll play a bit more passive.
I mean, I know a lot of people say elo doesn't matter, like it doesn't.
Yep.
You know, it's just an online points, but like people care about their elo because it's meant to describe how good you are at the game, but it doesn't. It describes how good you are in a team. That you like out of 6 people, you can have 1/6 of an impact into that.
Well,
And in game generally, you can have 1/12 of an impact into that. So it doesn't really like say how good you are at the game.
That'll be on
That's
At
so
1
enough.
PM, just
Yeah, if
Maybe
they
on
have,
right side,
Maybe
maybe on right side.
Dive.
Oh, no.
to dive.
if they have friends,
Anna, where are you?
give you a
Okay.
bio for it.
I need to be
Back
near.
right, back right.
They're coming up the Duskwood.
Okay, just right now, what are you shielding? Think. Now. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think about what you're shielding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is nothing. You're shielding nothing. So, and you're slowing yourself down, and you're holding a bad position. Stand here. Or there. There's pretty bad, but here's better. And then don't hold your shield, like, you know, just shield hop and, like, just drop your shield. This is you dropping your shield. And then, like, maybe, like, 1 second after you bring it back up again. And then 1 second after, when you realize you're not shielding anything, you drop it again. You know, you don't need to hold it for, like, long periods of time.
Genji wins.
Careful, Genji, don't get picked.
They're on high ground.
You seem to not really know how to position on defense very much, or like where you should stand on defense.
Here they come.
You are shielding nothing. Please just drop it. Drop it, please.
Are they flanking all the way around? They're flanking all the way around.
Drop it. You don't know where they go.
Tracer's behind, here.
Yeah, sliding.
What? Did you know their team is over there? You can see them through the wall. You can see them right there, and you're trying to deal with the tracer. How are you going to kill their tracer? You can't. Because she's just gonna blink away and get a health pack. and their whole team is there, and your diva is in front of you, and you are the main tank, you should be here. At the very nearest, like, oh no, the very furthest back. You know, your positioning, your offense positioning is good. You play like sort of XQC, but a bit less aggressive. On defense, you play like you are afraid that anything is going to one-shot you. You hold your shield when you're not going to get shot, and you are playing so defensively, so defensively.
It's about to dive on the high ground. Careful on
It hurts me. Right.
Backing off, backing off.
Switch no blink. They're diving
Lucio
right
on
now.
point. Lucio on point.
Lucio one.
Lucio half.
Lucio one.
I'm
Flash him,
back.
flash him.
Lucio down. Focus monkey. Nice.
Yep.
Ana.
This is good though, just swinging is good, like, they're not going to kill you really.
Nice.
Okay, well, swinging is good until, like, you get low and then you need to shield.
No recall.
Eyeball. Okay, we should be good for the next push too.
That was good though, when they dived in you had a good playstyle,
Lucio's back.
but before the fight you made me want to die.
Back there?
I'm back.
Genji's still back there, but now it's like
Well, by the way, just
far behind.
in this review I want to know what your hurts monitor is, like what hurts your monitor is.
She's just looking for ult charging.
Yeah, don't let Diva get her ult back.
I'm dropping my shield. Dropping my shield.
He got health back, so I'm gonna go chase him.
Should I chase him?
Davis in mech, Davis
I
in
could
mech.
1v1 him pretty easy.
Alright, I have ulti for the next push.
Okay, this is the time when, first of all, you should not be shielding, and second of all, is when your team should be using the PFM, pre-fight, oh god, that's a T, macro, which is when you have someone on your team, whoever is comfortable doing it, decide what you are going to do in the next fight. This is this is when you decide, like, you need to know where they're going first, but then you decide what you're going to do to combat what they're doing, what ults you're going to use, and what ults they may use to win the fight.
Yeah, the top.
Oh, every time you hold your shield, I just want you to think, what am I shielding right now? What are you shielding currently? Sorry, I don't want to shout at you, but what are you shielding currently? What? There is nothing that you are shielding. You're just making yourself move slower for no reason.
Blading. No blading.
Good ult.
They are now.
You need to sort of
Fake, down his fake.
focus on, like, you were trying to kill the Diva initially, and then you were trying to kill their
Monkey ult.
their monkey, and then you were trying to kill the Lucio. You should have to focus on one. Your Diva's doing a lot of work though.
We can nano blade this.
Oh, quick! This is just a really quick tip. When you're charging as Ryan, when it gets to right this second, I paused it perfectly. This second of the charge, what you can do is if you press space and right click at the same time, you go, like, instead of just finishing here, which is where you do, you'll finish like here, because it'll make you do a jump at the end of the charge.
I'm almost at ult again. You guys can hold.
Nanoblade?
Yeah, do you want me to play?
All we need is a second to get
Fight
picked.
showing up. Fight.
Don't worry.
Nah, they're trying to push me into that.
Oh, another thing, you don't actually need to shield the Diva ult until like the very last second. You can keep swinging and then just immediately when it's, you should have shattered there. Their monkey did not have bubble. They were all grouped up. They do not have a shield. If you shatter them, you win the fight and you hold the point.
Hawk wall, and we can surprise them on the wall.
Yep, sounds good.
I have my ult.
Oh, there's Genji up top. Same as monkey.
Anna, where are you? Yeah, you're inside. They're on up top, I think.
No, Ana no sleep.
Are we together? We can push it. Push it.
Wait. Let it get on.
I think it's just you making the calls, and your calls are good when you make them. Shatter! Press Q!
If we get picks now, it's good though.
You just got to pick. What are you doing? Press the Q button.
Let's go.
Press it, please. Oh my god, thank you.
Good at you. That slam was super good.
The slam was super huge, but it could have been super huge fucking 5 hours ago, dude.
Genji down. Get into blink, get into blink.
This time was good, but you could have done it so much earlier. Oh my god. You're charging your ult relatively quickly, so please do not be afraid to use it.
Tracer coming in.
Nice! Good stuff, guys.
Okay. Sorry, it took him.
Alright, they're gonna go for a full shear strat, I reckon. So, should we just go for hard damage and start off with a Bastion?
We can
Try.
try.
You want to do goats again?
We could rush high ground with 2 shields and a bastion.
I mean, EQ is right about this stuff, but he's not good. Like, you
Right side high ground.
can tell someone what they're doing wrong and what they need to do, but you also need to tell them how
They
to
won't
do it.
expect it.
They won't expect it.
They won't
Good
expect
point.
it.
Should we go for the unexpected?
And we could also rock a Pharah if we want to. Go bastion
Yeah,
Pharah.
no,
Yeah,
we can make
go
them think
for it.
we're playing a more far.
Saying Bastion on a point where you have to have mobility to attack it is a bit
Yeah, if we can go double
Monka-esque.
shield.
If we rush
And-
right side, we're gonna have to go really fast.
I'll try.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's
Your comment's a bit
trap
weird.
on the
Yeah,
Pharah.
there is.
You have double shield, which means you're gonna want to be completely protecting this Bastion, which means like if you're gonna completely protect the Bastion, your Mercy isn't gonna be really profiting your Pharah very much because you have a Lucio.
If you get in that
I'll
trap.
walk out first and I get trapped. Gotcha.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Right side, right side.
All together, please. They got Junkrat.
3, 2, 1.
Boo-boo. Go.
They got Widow.
There you go. They're holding back my.
That's the only thing. Your Mercy's gonna want to be completely put your Bastion, which means you can't cover the Pharah.
I can't see anything.
She was low, she was low, she was low. Orisa, I need your shield.
Shield down, shield down, shield down. Back up, back up. Let's shut it up. We can't do anything.
They're off. They're off high ground. They're off high ground.
This is terrible. They can, you know, they can just hide behind this wall, and for them, this is the same Jane has, and I really agree with this. Is there is nothing wrong with nothing. So you are not forcing them to do anything. So they're not going to do anything. Simple as. You've just wasted like 30 seconds of your own time.
Big ANT, watch out.
My shield's low, my shield's low.
I think you know this. You seem to. Okay. Well,
Widow,
never let your shield break. Get it down to like 100 HP and just let it recharge. If you let your shield break, it means it has a time to then recharge. You know, it's just bad to let it break.
my shield's recharging.
Widow's one hit. Widow's literally one tap.
Hey, Micro!
Shield, win the shield.
Press W!
I'm slept.
Good, 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 good. So we're like, nice. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Junkrat, can I have the point?
Sit down. Sit down.
They have ult.
Pushing
Yeah,
forward,
they have
I'm
ult,
pushing
they have
forward.
ult.
I'm with you, Ryan. I'm with you.
I'm gonna go Shadow. They brought a Bungle Boost, okay? They got Red Tire as well.
This is cool. So you're tracking the ults. Very, very good. The only thing is, see that's big. That's big. Okay, I don't know how you didn't die. That was a very, very good play from you. You called out that Junkrat tire. I mean, you could have saved Fire Strike for it, but then you baited out the tire, so it didn't kill anyone. That was like a really, really good play from you.
I'm gonna get hit.
Go, 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 go.
Thank you.
They got one healer.
Oh, that's all the damage. Back up, back up, back up, back
Bring it
up.
back, bring it up. My shield low, have the shield, have the shield.
Shield down. Wait for shield.
Wait for our Orisa with Bungle Boost, we'll push in.
Yeah.
And we got charge the fire up, charge the fire up.
Yep. I'm working on it.
Right, go, go, go.
We're ready.
Oh, good stuff.
They have so much spam that you should be fine.
We got it.
Nice.
It's a huge barrage! Okay, that was nicely played actually by you at the end. That's all I have time to review for now.
Like
But
all low FPS on that map.
work on what I've said. Your Positioning on defense is terrible. You need to play more aggressive. When you play aggressive, you win fights. Play with your off tank who's going to support you and keep you alive. Your shatter usage, that needs work. A lot of work. Generally, you seem to be ult tracking. I mean, you're not doing it very much, but you are doing it at some point. Like, you're doing it more than anyone else. Also, what else? I really need to start winning the sun. Your team needs to do everything. Like, needs to work on comms, which is just about trusting each other and having someone who's comfortable on doing it. You can practice this and go into like quick play, and just you don't even have to call it out to like anyone. You just go into quick play and you call it out to yourself. You make call outs, and you just practice it. You know, just go through what I said in the video, and you will be fine, and you will improve as a team and yourself, and you'll get better, and you'll hit GM, and we can keep XD. Nice.